We passed windows of gleaming plaited pastry, sloping tiled roofs, a bright yellow sign with a black Scotty dog carrying a basket in its mouth. Fingers of gray light fell across the sky. The train turned, and the rim of blue water on the horizon disappeared. Quadrangles of grass bordered the tracks. The buildings grew denser, penetrated by a freeway populated with white trucks and small black cars. "You're tired." Soren smiled, and I noticed his crooked front teeth. He took off his hat, revealing a shaved head, receding hairline visible in his stubble. "You are at university?" "No, but I will be, in the fall." He narrowed his eyes for a moment and then relaxed them. "You mean autumn," he said, like there was a difference. I looked out the window, a damp, overcast day, not much like June. People appeared, riding bicycles. In my peripheral vision, Soren rubbed the top of his head. "I am also a student, a graduate student in literature." "Cool," I said. "I like to read." "It's hardly just reading at this stage." He laughed, stretching his arms above his head and resettling them at his sides. "I am writing my thesis." I squinted at him. "Don't you read books to do that?" "Of course I do. Again and again." He bit his wet bottom lip. "We are the next stop." The train went back underground, lights blinking on as we entered a tunnel, slowed. "That's cool that you study literature," I said. He looked at me, hopeful, silver-eyed. I followed Soren down the platform and up a staircase to a wide intersection where vehicles flew past newsstands, grand buildings, sidewalk cafes with awnings over wicker chairs. The horizon was dotted with obelisks and spires, the air moistened and scented with grilled meat and spilled coffee. The low, fluttering monotone of a strange language. Everyone said jet lag made you tired, but I felt I had passed through exhaustion into a hallucinatory state. A flashing herd of woman cyclists raced by 2 and 3 abreast, bright scarves at their necks. Soren pulled the back of my shirt, forcing me up onto the curb. He took my shoulders and turned me to face him, eyes wide. "Never stand in the path for the bicycles." "Sorry, I've never seen one before." He looked at me like I had pissed on his shoe. At the curb, a giant, bright red insect folded its wings out and back over its mirrored antennae. I blinked and we boarded a bus. Soren feeding coins into a small machine. As we pushed down the aisle, I withdrew my overstuffed wallet, dangling receipts and keychains. Would he accept dollars? I tapped his shoulder. He shook his head. "No, Roxana, you are paid for. In your tuition." He turned my duffel bag on end and leaned it against his right side. He was wearing his hat again. I hadn't even seen him put it back on. All the passengers looked straight ahead, as if there were a rule against turning. At the 4th stop, a woman with a double stroller bearing twins boarded. Dark glimmered at the edges of my vision. I was so tired. I closed my eyes. There was a strange sound. The woman wheeling her stroller back and forth. What was she doing? I opened my eyes. She spoke incomprehensibly at me from under her frizzy hair. Soren was busy on his phone. The woman repeated herself. A man on my right gestured with his chin. A pair of blonde teenage girls seated across the aisle directed me with pink fingernails. What did they want me to do? Why was everyone so angry? "I'm sorry," I said softly, not expecting to be understood. "Oh, English," the woman with the stroller said. "Move. You are in the place for prams." "But there's nowhere—" I made a vague movement of my arm.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.